Namaste, good evening. It's been a while since I put any videos out online, but a new phase is just opening up, and so I thought it might be good just to mention it as to what's happening. Siddhananda and I have been working with some spirits that are on the other side, and we've worked with now in the last couple days actually quite a few, couple from India, a couple Mid-Eastern, a couple transgendered. I mean, we've dealt with many different types. Most have come for counseling to move forward. And what's interesting, there have been 4 that have been very, very ripe, and were able to transition into the void. And what's really interesting about that is that we question it, and they will be in there, and they are supposed to come out of the void all around the same period of time. That they would be there for this 19 days and emerge from it around September 4th. Now, we did a little more questioning as to why at that time. And what it appears is going to happen is there's going to be another shift of consciousness at that time, and there are some coming forward now that want to also work to aid humanity as much as they can from the other side, or etc. But it has been interesting. I have had I did have one that wanted to come and challenge me that said he was a Brahmin, so he didn't last here very long, though. He took off very rapidly. But I'm hoping that one we did work with that was around in the age of enlightenment in India, that when he comes out of the void, he would be able to talk a little sense into this recently departed Brahmin, and that he would be a little more open to hearing what he had to say. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, but it's been very interesting in that most have come and requested counseling on how to move forward in their existence, how to go into get ready to be reborn. A few of them have come and said they don't want to be embodied again. But a few are looking to go into being embodied. A couple, 1 or 2, had been in a kind of a, you could say, a hell realm of their own creation. So we worked to try to speak to them and get them to let go of the strong emotional things they had going, so that they could be proceed on with their journey. So this is not something that either of us were looking for, but just happened to open up, and there's a need in that area, and apparently we had agreed to do this before we came into this embodied existence, so we went, okay, if we've already agreed to it before we came in, we'll go ahead and do that work with people to aid them as much as we can with that. So anyway, that's what's happening here. I still haven't left for my vacation. I'm still working on getting the last of the things done for the remodeling at my place here. But I think everything's been ordered that needs to be ordered, and so it looks like I'm going to be freed up to take a bit of vacation, and I think I will, since we're in the process of a new phase of working that looks like they say there are many, many, many waiting on the other side to come through and talk with us. Although I have to say most of them have been very respectful in waiting their turn, except for of course, the Brahmin who let us know how self-important he was. He wanted to cut the line, didn't want to have to wait, but he had to wait his turn anyway. And he didn't stay here very long. He didn't like what he had to here anyway. But most of them are moving forward. Some are not ready to move forward. So one that's been a protector sort of for this path, the Sundarpuri, is unfortunately still in the toxic realm of having done so many drugs and things, and he kind of comes out of it and has some recognition, and then he's kind of phased back in it again for a while. So unfortunately, it will be a while before he's ready to move forward. But I am happy to say we did have 4 so far that have gone into the void, and so the ground of being, and they will be there for 19 days. So more or less, what we've gotten out of this so far is the shift is coming. It's not going to be as much of a shift that's going to be noticed across the planetary thing, but more of a shift for those that are seeking to go forward in consciousness. It will be more of an aid for them at that time, more of an opening for them to go forward. And for those that are having the more difficult things, it will become a little more difficult for them, a little bit of a polarization, but the polarization will wind up being a good thing, because they will go through so much more difficulty in that they will eventually turn to the light for more guidance and wisdom. So it's going to wind up being a beneficial thing for the planet in the end. So that's what's happening now. That's what's been happening here. And so we are once again putting this into motion and just making ourselves available to continue to aid humanity, whether they're embodied now or they're out of form, and to aid them as much as we can. Now, my question was, why in the world do we have to aid them? I'm sure there must be, there must be guides, there must be, others on the other side that are quite capable of doing this, that we have enough work with people that are in body at this moment. But what I've gotten basically is that, yes, but sometimes they are not willing to listen to their or whatever, for whatever reason. And some have heard about me, mainly those that have come before have had some sort of a connection with me, or those that have known me in other lifetimes, etc. I'm happy to say that one, and a couple of them, were both Mid-Eastern, that had participated in a very torturous lifetime for me in the past, had come forward and regretted their actions in those lifetimes, and had sought to move forward. So I did whatever I could to move them forward, and wish them well on their journeys, and so we'll see hopefully, they're ready to turn over. Definitely one went into the void, I'm glad to say. He had a little misplaced guilt that's not benefiting him. And the other one is going to have a little more of a difficult time, but he's ready to open himself up more spiritually. And he was very much, he set up by a book Muslim, and had done some atrocities that when he came to the other side, he saw that they were atrocities, and he's very much wanting to repent of that and turn over a new leaf and do what's needed to learn and to go forward and to aid humanity. And so that's very good. Unfortunately, he knows that he will have to perhaps come into embodiment and suffer some of the same types of torture to actually understand what it is to be on the other side of it. So that's not something pleasant to have to look forward to for someone. I hope it's mitigated and that he doesn't have as hard of a lesson to go through to be able to turn things around anyway. But I'm sure we will have many more. We've had everything from, like I said, from someone that was in India in the Enlightened period to a transgender, someone that was transgendered that had passed, to Middle Eastern, to some that are just, were caught up in just really being emotionally attached to someone and in a lot of jealousy and pain and not wanting to let go of that in order to move forward. So we've had all sorts of scenarios and people that have come through with so many various things. It's been quite interesting. But the good thing with it is most of them have come, and it's been actually pretty quick to speak with them, to get them to understand what they need to do to move forward. And most of them have been quite willing to do that actually quite rapidly. A few have been a little resistant, and so we'll see. We've got a couple that are in some stillness right now, not quite the void, but are in a little more settled state. One was a nun, and the other was a very young boy that had lived his life in India and left his body at a very young age, but he was very much a sacred child and wanted to go back and have some more remembrance of that experience in that body. And so he's into a little space of quietude, contemplating that at the moment. So I'm not sure how long they will remain in their state of contemplation. But we will see. So that's what's going on here. And I hope all are well. And everyone is wished well. So that's the report from here. Namaste.